Welcome to Hunting with HECS.
Welcome to today's show. I'm your host, Mike Slinkard. This week, we're going to dive back into our video vault and revisit some of the crazy hunting experiences that we've had here on Hunting with HECS over the past decade. We have some early footage showcasing HECS technology, and I think it'll be fun for you all to see the transformation of what we knew about HECS then versus what we know about it now. With the ever-increasing popularity of waterfowl hunting and turkey season right around the corner, you're going to want to pay special attention to today's show. I think you'll see how adding HECS technology to your weapons list will make a major difference in your next outdoor adventure. It's going to be a great time, so sit back, relax, and join us as we go hunting with HECS.
Hunting is about getting close. Really close. Get closer than you ever thought was possible.
When you have a cameraman and you setting out in a dirt field like this, you can get away with so much with this HECS on.
I've got to give credit once again to HECS.
We showcase the science of getting close right here on Hunting with HECS.
Well, this first hunt took place back in 2015. My daughter Caitlin, my dad Bob, and I all headed to Western Oregon to hunt with Columbia River Decoy and Guide Service. We were after geese on this trip, and it was late in the season. The birds have been hunted constantly for the past 2 months, and I was really looking forward to testing the limits of HECS technology on some super wary birds.
They set the decoys up before daylight in a heavily used feeding area. And even before they were ready, they had birds flying in the area.
All right, well, we're pushing the envelope a bit on this goose hunting. We actually have 6 live geese sitting in these decoys right now, and as you can see, I'm right in the open, but so far so good. This has been pretty cool.
Since the crew is not allowed to hunt until 8 a.m., Mike decides to push his HECS suit to the limit and crawl across the open grass to see how close he can get to the geese feeding in the decoy spread. This goose can see Mike moving, but without the electrical field, he appears more like an inanimate object.
That was a lot of fun. We wanted to test and see what the HECS would do with geese. You know what we've seen with turkeys. Obviously, we had those geese. First off, they lit with me sitting out in the open. I decided to just see what we could do, so I crawled all the way out. I was probably 3 or 4 feet from that goose. My goal was to actually grab him, but we didn't let me get quite that close. We're going to sit back up, and the next ones that come in, we're going to knock some feathers out of them. All right.
Guns clear?
There we go, guns clear.
It's clear.
That's cool. Well, here's the end of our first morning with Columbia River Decoy and Guides, and God, it was a lot of fun. It really was.
Good shoot. Got some good footage of the suit working good. This is a very nice place we got here in the valley. This is about a 500-acre farm, perennial ryegrass field. We've had about 3,000 birds in here over the last couple of days. It's been a great day having you guys here, being able to see all these birds grind on top of us and and let the suit work. And we appreciate you guys coming out hunting with us.
Hunting with HECS is brought to you by PSE Archery. Tough Country, American values forged in steel. Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Victory Archery, the Carbon Arrow experts. Luminoc, light 'em up. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls, we call the game. Tacticam, share your hunt. Warren Winches. Trophy Properties and Auction. And HECS Stealth Screen, the evolution of concealment.
I'm a huge believer in HECS, and the reason is simply my success in the field. Time and time again, I have things that I just can't explain, and no matter which hunting camp I'm in, I feel like I'm having more opportunities than the people around me that aren't utilizing HECS. The reality is, some animals definitely can sense things that we just don't know about. And with the encounters that I've had, I can tell you that HECS has been my clear advantage. This past year, I got within top pin range on a giant open country bull and just sat there for longer than I was even comfortable for. And when he finally pulled away from that tree and started to come to where he had heard my call last, he literally almost walked right over me. Had no idea what I was, even when that arrow hit, and I'm giving that credit to HECS. During the late season here in Iowa, there's nothing worse than being covered up with whitetails in a ground blind and having them look right in at you. I don't experience that anymore. I'm telling you, the proof is in the pudding for me. If you're interested in getting the best deal possible, make sure you use the promo code at the bottom of the screen. Or if you want to find out more, go to hexllc.com or give us a call at 541-575-HECS.
Don't you crawl away. There's a lot more action coming up right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. Before the break, you watched as Mike pushed the limits of his HECS suit and crawled to within 3 feet of a wild cackler goose. Then, sitting in the open, Mike and the crew had a great morning of shooting. Now, let's join the crew as they head to California for some spring turkey hunting.
Back in 2014, HECS CEO Scott Eastman and I took a trip to Northern California to do a little turkey hunting. We learned a lot, and it turned out to be one of the most memorable turkey encounters we've ever had. The first morning, we sat up across the small draw across from some gobbling turkeys. Once they flew down, we didn't know where they'd went until we caught some movement off to our left. It turned out to be a young tom, and he had his eye on our decoys. But in this hard-hunted area, he was being super wary. Well, Scott and I were employing our new favorite turkey hunting tactic. We were sitting right out in the open, just out on chairs, in plain view. I know this looks like an impossible scenario to a lot of you turkey hunters, but we had our HECS suits on. The HECS suits are blocking our electrical signature. It's one of the things that turkeys key in on to tell what's living and what's not. To this turkey, we're an inanimate object. He looked over the area for a few minutes and then committed and came on into the decoys. Normally, I would have let a young bird like this walk, but he was putting on such a great show at only 15 yards from 2 guys sitting right out in the open. So finally, I decided to wait till he was facing right towards us, and I went ahead and got the full draw just to see what his reaction would be. As you could see, he didn't seem to care at all. How you like that?
Holy smokes, man, that was cool.
You know, that was just too good to pass up. What an experience. It is so cool being that close and able to come to full draw even when they're looking at you. We're in the wide open. You can't fake that stuff, guys. You just can't.
Man, when he put on that show and he was facing directly to us, and I thought, you know what, if I'm going to show guys what HECS is all about, I'm going to come to full draw. I've done it enough. I knew I was going to get away with it. And sure enough, he stood there and the arrow hit him just right there. And he just went just barely over the hill here, and he's piled up.
And now, it's time for this week's HECS Close-Up.
This week's HECS Close-Up comes from Doug McDonough from Wisconsin. Doug has hunted deer for 30 years, and he knows a thing or two about deer hunting and deer behavior. This year, after seeing HECS in action on the show and the numerous YouTube videos, he decided to order a suit right before his annual archery hunt. Doug was skeptical as he put on his suit and headed out to his stand. But his skepticism didn't last long as he passed does feeding in the field at 30 yards, and they stayed right there as he walked on by. Over the course of the next several days, Doug had more deer than ever under his tree, and even when they saw him move, they seemed more curious than afraid, and often approached closer. Doug was able to take this great Wisconsin buck even after it spotted him turning around in his stand. Doug credits the HECS suit to his success, and he tells us that he won't hunt without it. Thanks again to Doug McDonough for submitting this week's HECS Close-Up.
The original HECS suit is very lightweight, breathable, and versatile enough to be used in almost any hunting situation. The HECS systems consist of 3 pieces. These essential pieces include a HECS pant, HECS top, and HECS head cover. You may use any combination of appropriate HECS products to achieve the goal of covering as much of your body as possible with HECS technology. All HECS hunting products are now available in our new HECS Style Anywhere and HECS Style Green digital camo patterns to match any terrain. The material features a highly electrically conductive carbon grid woven into the polyester base cloth. The grid blocks your body's electrical field. The suit is designed to be worn under your regular camo or over the top as an outer layer. The technology is effective either way. The original pants are cut similar to sweatpants, with an elastic waistband, elastic cuffs on the bottom, side pockets, and a convenient fly. The pullover shirt features thumb holes, serge stitching, and an embroidered logo. The head cover has a hemmed eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the HECS hat, our versatile multi-rag that can be worn in a variety of ways, camo gloves made of a lightweight, stretchy material in matching camo, and a heavyweight over-the-calf sock. And of course, all of the accessories have the HECS grid woven right in. Order right now and use the promo code to save $30 on your order of a complete HECS suit. Learn more about our full line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering at HECSLLC.com.
Don't move. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. When we last saw Mike Slinkard and Scott Eastman, they had just called a turkey to 15 yards, where Mike was able to draw in full view of the bird and make a great shot. Now, we catch up to the guys hunting a ridge top during the midday lull. They have a couple of birds answering and have made a quick setup only 12 yards from the decoys.
All right, we're set up here. A little warm out, but I got first shot on this one. So here's some birds off in the distance, hoping to get them in.
I know this seems impossible, but when the first tom strutted into view, he didn't slow down a bit. He walked a circle around the decoys, passing right in front of Scott and I. The second bird was coming a bit further out, about 25 yards, just off camera. When the tom turned, Scott couldn't take the suspense any longer, and he drew his bow. I decided to draw my bow as well and try for the tom that was just off camera.
Yes. Oh.
Almost got a double.
I couldn't see.
Stayed way out.
I knew you shot at him. I was watching my bird down here.
No, I'm glad you were. Good shot.
Oh man,
I missed by that much, just to the right.
Man, what a neat experience. And again, just exactly what we talk about every year with HECS. I mean, we quit hunting in a blind completely, and for us it adds to it. You know, we started out being kind of a demonstration of what you can do, but it's a lot of fun.
It really is, and just like Mike said, we started out just to kind of demonstrate what you can get away with the suits on, but I got to be honest with you, there are advantages too. We're not all brushed up. We don't have stuff in our way. We have clear shooting lanes, obviously.
Yep, nice comfortable chair.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, some people look at it and think it's kind of silly, and obviously we're doing it to show people that, you know, you can get away with a lot more, but I got to be honest with you, it's more exciting.
Hi, I'm Bill Epwards, and I'm very fortunate to be in the hunting industry and hunt all over the world. And one thing that's really made me successful over the years is the HECS technology, and it's allowed me to take 18 Grand Slams of turkeys, 2 World Slams, the Big 5 in Africa with a bow, also all the animals in New Zealand. And one thing that I think that really helps me, and I preach this in my seminars, is the HECS technology really works. It allows me to get away with more movement, and the animals do not seem to detect me in any way. So the next time you go out in the field, make sure you check out HECS technology.
Our most popular HECS system is our base layer. The base layer is a lightweight, semi-thermal material designed to be worn under your regular hunting clothing or over the top. It features the patented HECS technology woven right into the material, and now comes in both HECS-style camo patterns as well as solid green. All complete HECS systems include 3 pieces: pant, shirt, and head cover. The shirt is a quarter zip Henley with rugged serge stitching, embroidered HECS logo, and thumb holes. The form-fitting pants have rugged serge stitching throughout, and the heavy elastic waistband and cuff ensure they stay in place. They also feature a convenient fly. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the HECS hat, camo gloves made of a lightweight stretchy material in matching camo, and a heavyweight over-the-calf sock. Our versatile multi-rag can be worn in a variety of ways. Of course, all accessories have the HECS grid woven right in. Order now and use the promo code to save $30 on your order of a complete HECS suit. Learn more about our full line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering at HECSLLC.com.
The encounters keep getting closer, and when we get back, it gets even crazier. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. So far, we've seen HECS at work on northwestern turkey and waterfowl. Now, let's head to Texas to try the HECS suits on some hard-hunted Rio Grandes.
On this next hunt from 2014, I'm with my good friend Brad Golke, and we're down in Texas. I won the coin toss to be first shooter, so Brad's on the camera. We'd roosted some birds the night before, and we were set up on them the next morning. It wasn't long before they were coming our way. These birds are close, and we're both setting in the wide open. At 10 yards and fully outfitted in HECS, I drew my bow with full confidence that they wouldn't react, and it worked perfectly. Well, my turkey fell over after about 60 yards, but the 2 toms were totally unaware of our presence, even after I'd drawn my bow in the wide open and actually shot one. Brad had brought his bow along as well, so we quickly made a plan for Brad to try to take a second turkey if he could. For this to work, I was going to have to get out of my chair and get low enough so Brad could shoot. Also, keep in mind that Brad is 6'6", and since he's behind the camera, he has to stand completely up behind the camera to draw his bow. But as you can see, with the HECS advantage, it wasn't a problem. Awesome deal. Yeah, that bird's hit hard too. Wow. Oh man, I tell you. Now that is what HECS is all about right there now. every spring. I look forward to coming out here. You guys have a lot of birds, and you got a lot of really nice birds. And you know, last year we did great, but this year I think we overdid ourselves. Getting a double with a bow and arrow, all that movement, and we didn't have a bird bust, period.
Did you know that fox are more effective at catching prey when they line up with the Earth's magnetic field? Researchers observed over 600 attempts by fox to catch prey. They discovered that when the fox faced northeast, they were successful 74% of the time, compared to only 18% when facing any other direction. Researchers surmised that foxes were using the Earth's magnetic field in combination with the electrical field given off by the mouse to help it detect and target its prey more accurately. HECS technology blocks our electrical field and makes us less detectable to animals.
Hunting with HECS is brought to you by PSE Archery. Tough Country, American values forged in steel. Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Victory Archery, the carbon arrow experts. Luminoc, light 'em up. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls, we call the game. Tacticam, share your hunt. Warren Winches. Trophy Properties and Auction. And HECS Stealth Screen, the evolution of concealment.
You know, I always enjoy going through the footage from the vault and remembering those great HECS experiences that we've had over all these years. Honestly, what we once considered over-the-top encounters have now become so commonplace for us that we sometimes kind of take them for granted. It's really nice to look back and remember the thrill that we felt when we were learning the boundaries of HECS back in those early days. You know, today, HECS users everywhere are experiencing that thrill of the close-up encounter that we had all the time. We get thousands of messages, photos, and emails every year from excited HECS customers all over the world, and we never get tired of seeing them. If you haven't yet had the HECS experience, you need to go online or give us a call right now and get a HECS system on the way. If you already know the HECS Advantage, be sure to check out the new stuff that we have to offer for 2021. We've expanded our line significantly, and we have a lot more in the pipeline, so be sure and check it out online. In the meantime, we'll keep pushing the limits and bringing it to you each week, right here on Hunting with HECS.
If you have an amazing HECS encounter you'd like to share, give us a call or go online. If we use it on the air, you'll be in the running to win an exciting hunting trip with a HECS crew. You can find out more on our website at hexllc.com. While you're online, make sure to take a minute and check us out on our social media sites as well.